The sun blazed high in the sky as the buffalo hunter rode across the endless prairie. A rugged man, he had spent years mastering the art of tracking and hunting, with calloused hands and a keen eye trained by experience. He wore a weathered hat to shield himself from the sun's harsh rays, and his sturdy boots were covered in dust from countless miles traveled. Buffalo were more than just animals to him. They represented survival. Each hunt brought food and materials that sustained his small community. Yet, beyond the thrill of the chase, he often felt a deeper connection to the land. He respected its beauty and power, appreciating each sunrise that warmed the plains. Today was different, though. Instead of seeking buffalo, he found himself on a solitary journey, searching for lost signs of wildlife or perhaps just escaping memories that haunted him. As he rode, he felt a sense of loneliness blanketing him like the afternoon heat. Little did he know that this day would lead him to an unexpected encounter, one that would challenge everything he believed about loyalty and compassion in a world so often ruled by conflict. As the buffalo hunter continued across the vast prairie, a shimmer caught his eye. He squinted against the sun and spotted a figure sprawled on the ground a distance away, half hidden by the tall grasses. A sense of unease clutched at his heart. As he rode closer, he recognized the unmistakable attire of a Cheyenne elder. The wide-brimmed hat and patterned blanket told stories of wisdom and age. The elder lay motionless, vulnerable in the midday sun, his skin glistening with sweat. A faint groan reached the hunter's ears, causing an ache of concern to swell within him. He quickly dismounted and hurried over, adrenaline surging as he scanned the surrounding area for any signs of danger. The prairie around them was eerily quiet, save for the whispering winds that carried hints of trouble from afar. The glittering ridge where the cavalry rifles stood made his heart race. Instinctively, he knelt beside the elder, feeling an unexpected wave of compassion wash over him. Here was a man who had lived through countless seasons, now in desperate need of help. The hunter's solitary journey was about to transform into something far more significant, a test of his bravery and humanity. As the buffalo hunter knelt beside the Cheyenne elder, he quickly noticed the frailty of the old man. The elder's sunken cheeks and ashen skin told a tale of exhaustion and dehydration. Strands of silver hair clung to his forehead, damp with sweat, and his eyes, though dimmed by age and suffering, still sparkled with resilience. Injuries littered his body. Scrapes on his arms revealed darkening bruises, signs of falls or struggles during a long journey. The hunter realized that the elder must have been caught in a fierce storm, separated from his tribe, and left to fend for himself in relentless conditions. He had likely wandered under the scorching sun for days, searching for water and shelter that never came. The urgency of the moment pressed heavily on the buffalo hunter's chest. Here lay a man who had once commanded respect and wisdom in his community, now reduced to such vulnerability. The quiet rustle of grass around them was suddenly filled with tension as he glanced back toward the ridge where the cavalry rifles glittered dangerously in the sunlight. Time was slipping away. Determinedly, he knew he must act quickly to save the elder's life before it was too late. As the buffalo hunter looked into the weary eyes of the elder, a storm of thoughts swirled inside him. He felt a powerful urge to help, but fear gripped his heart. Assisting this Cheyenne elder could put his own life at risk. The nearby glint of cavalry rifles reminded him of the tensions between their worlds and the harsh realities that came with them. Would he be seen as a traitor to his own kind for aiding an enemy? The wind picked up, stirring the grass about them as if echoing his inner turmoil. He thought of his family and community, who depended on him for safety and sustenance. What would they think if he were seized and punished for helping an enemy? Yet, another part of him, the part that recognized humanity in everyone, could not turn away from the plight before him. The elder was not just a Cheyenne man. He was a fellow human in desperate need. Caught between duty and compassion, the buffalo hunter closed his eyes for a brief moment, drawing a deep breath to steady himself. He realized he had to choose between turning his back or facing the unknown dangers ahead to save a life, a decision that would define his true character. With a resolve forged from his internal struggle, the buffalo hunter gently lifted the frail elder into his arms. Sweat dripped down his brow as he felt the weight of the old man's weakened body pressing against him. The prairie sun beat down relentlessly, and every step felt like a battle against the harsh elements surrounding them. As he began to drag the elder toward a nearby patch of shade, the hunter scanned the horizon, listening for any signs of approaching danger. The tall grasses swayed and danced in the wind, creating an almost eerie silence punctuated only by his labored breaths. Each footfall sank into the earth, reminding him of both the physical strain and the urgency of their situation. The shimmering heat waves rose off the ground, distorting his view as he pressed onward, determined to find safety. He spotted a cluster of low-hanging trees in the distance, a promise of relief from the sun's cruel rays. With every ounce of strength he had left, he gritted his teeth and pushed himself forward, knowing that every moment counted. The struggle was intense, but with each step closer to shade, hope flickered within him. His commitment to saving this elder fueled his determination as he fought against exhaustion and fear, driven by a newfound purpose in this critical moment. Just as the buffalo hunter felt a flicker of hope, the sound of galloping hooves echoed across the prairie. The sharp crack of cavalry rifles pierced the tense silence, sending a shudder down his spine. He froze for a moment, instinctively scanning the ridge where the sparkling rifles stood like ominous sentinels against the horizon. The elder stirred slightly in his arms, sensing the shift in atmosphere. With every shot fired, tension tightened around them like a noose, amplifying the gravity of their situation. The hunter's heart raced. He was acutely aware that they were now exposed and vulnerable under the unforgiving sun. "Stay quiet," he whispered urgently to the elder, who nodded weakly but seemed to understand. Each echoing rifle report reminded him of his own people's fears and anger toward the Cheyenne. Would his act of kindness be seen as betrayal? Determined not to falter, he pressed on with renewed urgency, feeling the weight of both men's fate resting on his shoulders. Every step and every shot rang in his ears, the clamor urging him forward, propelling him toward safety while instilling an ever-present dread of what lay behind them. The path to shade had never felt so perilous, yet he knew he could not abandon this man in need. As they finally reached the shade of the low-hanging trees, a wave of relief washed over the buffalo hunter. He gently lowered the elder onto the cool grass, his own body trembling with exhaustion as he sank beside him. The shelter from the sun felt like a miracle, wrapping them in a tender embrace that shielded them from the unforgiving heat. The rustling leaves whispered softly above, a soothing balm to their strained nerves. The elder closed his eyes, letting out a long, shuddering breath as he leaned back against the rough bark of a tree. For a moment, time stood still. The chaos and danger seemed to fade into the background as they found solace in this brief reprieve. The buffalo hunter wiped the sweat from his brow and took a deep breath, feeling the coolness of the shade rejuvenate him. He glanced at the elder, grateful to see a flicker of life returning to the old man's face. It was a fleeting moment, but one filled with hope and unspoken gratitude. In that sacred haven away from the threats looming just beyond their refuge, both men shared a silent understanding. They had crossed an invisible barrier together, facing peril side by side, even if just for a heartbeat. This moment of calm fortified their spirits for whatever lay ahead. As they settled into the cool shade, the buffalo hunter glanced at the elder, who had begun to regain his strength. "You have traveled far, my friend," he said softly. The elder nodded, a faint smile breaking through his weary expression. "I have seen many seasons," the elder replied, his voice a whisper carried by the gentle breeze. "Each one teaches us something new. The land speaks, but only those who listen can understand its wisdom." The buffalo hunter felt his heart stir at these words, recognizing a shared appreciation for the beauty and lessons of nature. "I hunt the buffalo," he shared, pride warming his tone. "They are my lifeblood, but I also respect them as part of this land." The elder's eyes sparkled with understanding. "To hunt is to honor," he responded. "In our culture, we believe that every animal gives itself so that we may live." Under the sheltering branches, they exchanged stories of their people, tales of resilience, loss, and survival. In this fragile moment, barriers dissolved as they bonded over their shared struggles. Time faded as they laughed and remembered, forging a connection that transcended their differences and deepened their humanity amidst the looming threat outside their refuge. As the buffalo hunter and the Cheyenne elder took a moment to catch their breath, an unsettling thought loomed in the back of the hunter's mind. He knew that the cavalry patrols were searching for any sign of Cheyenne presence, driven by anger and fear toward his people. Could he truly risk The echoes of gunfire still rang in his ears, a grim reminder of the danger they were in. If they were discovered together, what would happen to him? Would his own community label him a traitor for aiding someone from the very culture they often viewed with suspicion? Yet, the feeling of compassion he had nurtured for the elder tugged at his conscience. He remembered their shared stories, the joy and pain intertwined, all stemming from life's struggles on the prairie. The choice seemed to stretch infinitely before him. Act in self-interest or honor the connection they had forged, transcending tribal divisions. In that shadowy haven, he felt an undeniable truth surface within him. Loyalty is not solely defined by blood or tribe. Sometimes, it is expressed through acts of kindness that uplift our shared humanity, even amid perilous circumstances. As they rested in the shade, the distant sound of galloping hooves grew louder, sending a jolt of fear through the buffalo hunter. He exchanged a worried glance with the Cheyenne elder, the weight of their situation crashing down on him. The cavalry was nearing, and their presence sent a chill through the air that stung like frostbite. The hunter's heart raced as he listened to the rhythmic pounding of horses' hooves, each sound echoing the urgent choice he now faced: flee into safety or stay and protect the elder. The memories of his community's teachings about loyalty and honor clashed in his mind with the undeniable bond he had formed with this man despite their cultural differences. He could almost see the soldiers approaching, rifles gleaming ominously against the sunlit prairie. Would he sacrifice his own safety for a man considered an enemy? Every fiber of his being urged him to run, to save himself before it was too late. Yet, a countering force pulled at his heart, a deep-seated sense of duty to stand alongside someone who had shared his struggles and vulnerabilities. In that critical moment, time slowed as he weighed his options. He realized that this decision would shape not only his fate but redefine his understanding of courage and humanity. In a moment of clarity, the buffalo hunter made his choice. He knew he could not abandon the elder to face danger alone. With a swift decision, he resolved to stay and protect him, understanding that true courage lies in standing by those in need, regardless of their background. As the cavalry drew closer, he whispered words of encouragement to the elder, urging him to remain calm. Together, they prepared for whatever fate awaited them. The hunter's heart pounded fiercely, but alongside it flowed a newfound strength fueled by solidarity. When the cavalry finally appeared over the ridge, rifles raised and eyes scanning the landscape, the buffalo hunter faced them head-on. He stood tall beside the elder, embodying defiance and unity. To his surprise, as they approached, the soldiers halted and regarded them with confusion rather than hostility. It was clear that they had expected a confrontation but found only two men bound by mutual respect. In that charged moment, both men learned valuable lessons about trust and bravery. The buffalo hunter realized that true loyalty is defined not just by tribe but by compassion for others. The Cheyenne elder felt an unexpected warmth towards his rescuer, a kinship forged through shared struggle. Together, they faced an uncertain future with renewed hope and strength. As the sun dipped below the horizon, casting a warm glow over the prairie, the buffalo hunter and the Cheyenne elder sat in quiet contemplation. Their journey together had been fraught with danger, yet it revealed profound truths about compassion and courage. In choosing to stand by one another despite cultural differences, they forged a connection that transcended tribal loyalties. The events they faced illuminated a critical lesson. True bravery is not just the absence of fear, but the willingness to act for others, even when it involves risk. The buffalo hunter discovered that loyalty could be redefined. It was not merely about supporting one's own people, but about recognizing humanity in those who might be considered enemies. This realization enriched his understanding of what it means to be part of a larger community that values empathy and kindness. For the Cheyenne elder, the experience was equally transformative. He felt a renewed sense of hope and kinship, understanding that compassion can dissolve barriers created by fear and misunderstanding. Together, they emerged from their trials with a shared commitment to protect each other, reinforcing their belief that acts of courage can bridge divides and foster unity in the face of adversity. Their bond became a beacon of light against the darkness of conflict, offering a glimpse into a more compassionate world where humanity prevails.